And joining on the line, welcome to Flow FM again. It's great to be chatting to him. We've got Jake Davey. G'day, Jake. How are you today?
Really good, mate. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. We spoke last year, so you've survived through COVID and all that. Did you have a good festive break, mate? Were you able to sort of get some sort of energy boosted back into you?
You absolutely nailed it, man. It was a really relaxing time. Got to write some songs, focus on the studio production, and I had a really, really good year. Missed playing live, though, obviously.
Yeah. I've seen your name mentioned on quite a few people that have had some studio work done, and you've been helping them out. Is that something that that you're doing more and more of, and could that take away from what we're going to be talking about with your own music?
Somehow it turned into my day job, which I'm so stoked about.
Yeah.
I love mentoring and recording and photographing and doing all that kind of stuff through the week, and then I'm able to kind of put the focus on my original music with all my other time, and it's quite easy for me to separate the two.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. So you don't overthink your own stuff as compared to when you're working with someone else?
Yeah, no, you just kind of need to... I think I've learned I need to take the pressure off myself and just, trust the process and trust the team that I work with and just roll with it.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that's all working out for you. That's good to hear because I see your name mentioned and I know you love doing it, so I'm glad that you can mix the two and you've got the balance just right.
Thank you, mate.
Now, we're going to be talking about your new single. It's called The Way She Does. And it's a country pop track, we could say that. But listening to it, and I've listened to it several times, Jake, and I've got this little quandary with it that I'm not sure whether it's not enough pop or it's not enough country. It kind of it's got me feeling like this, mate. What have you done? And I mean that in a nice way. I'm not being critical. It's just like I'm thinking it could be more this, more that. It's like, how did you get it just so it makes you think that it could be more of this and more of, and then you start arguing with yourself about what it should be?
You know what? I think it's I think my goal is to pull in the pop fans and the country fans, and like you said, it's much of a muchness. It could go either way. I'd say instrumentation is a huge thing. Chucking the banjo in, the mandolin in, kind of bringing it back to the rootsy kind of country style, but having those melodies and those lyrics that kind of are a little bit more pop and a little bit more catchy. So I think having that balance is crucial to hitting, when people hear it, they're able to go, oh, okay, I can identify with that. I like the pop. I like the country. I like the mix.
Yeah, it is spot on. And I said, it's one of those that if it had gone a bit more the other way, it's a different kind of song. Or either way, it's totally different either way. So you've got your balance spot on.
Thank you, mate. A lot of time goes into it to make sure that it ends up this way, but I love to hear that. Love to hear it.
Is that something that with your music that you're trying to do each time, or does it depend on the track and what you want to do?
I think, I've got to think longevity. So a year from now, where is my sound going to be? And I think with my debut track, On Your Mind, it was very ballady, kind of a little bit more country. My next single was Think of Me, and that was a little bit more poppy, and now The Way She Does has kind of stepped into that pop country territory. So it's been baby steps to get to this sound, but now we're going to follow this path and see where it's going to take us.
Now, you wrote the song with Canadian singer-songwriter Lydia Sutherland, and I gather this was done over Zoom and you didn't just fly off to Canada to do it.
No, I wish. I was due to go to Nashville in May and write and catch up with all these incredible artists. But Lydia and I connected on Instagram, and we wrote The Way She Does late last year. And straight away I knew it was going to be a single. She's an amazing writer, brings my ideas to life. And we write 2 to 3 songs a week at the moment. Yeah. And whether they're for other people or for ourselves. But yeah, the Way She Does made it through.
And what have you learnt from writing with her?
To be open to new perspectives, new melody ideas, to not be stuck on an idea. If you don't get emotionally attached to an idea, kind of allow that to be flexible. I think that's the biggest thing I've learned.
I was talking to a songwriter recently who said to me the hardest lesson they had to learn was learning to let go. Is that something that you've had to sort of do with your music and your songs as well?
Could not agree more. Yeah, you're going quite headstrong, especially when you've been writing songs on your own for the past 10 years. The ability to co-write is a whole new one, and it's a skill that you've got to learn. It's a conversation, it's a debate, it's a push and pull. So yeah, definitely got to be willing to accept fresh ideas and new approaches. But it goes both ways. You know, they've got to be willing to accept yours as well. So just got to work together to find that end result.
Well, what do you think Lydia has learnt from you?
To put up with an Aussie buff head from down under. Probably just she's probably learnt patience. Because I have been quite persistent with my ideas, and her ability to take them and mould them and convince me that that's the way we should go is amazing. So, she's incredible.
Oh, great to hear. Well, last time we spoke, Jake, you'd not long signed a publishing deal with Cobalt Music. So how's that been going for you?
Fantastic, man. It's just been putting my riding on the front foot. Late 2020 and early 2021 has just been a prolific writing season, and it continues to be. Gonna be lining up for an album later this year, so having that publishing deal has just allowed me to spend more time on my writing, and just connect with different artists and put that at the forefront.
So this writing that you've been doing, is it like these songs? Are they coming to you planned, or are they coming to you at 2:00 in the morning, sort of thing? What's going on?
That's a great question. Both.
Yeah.
Definitely both. My voice memo is full of random ideas. I could be driving. I could be, making breakfast. I could be, at the gym working out and being like, oh, that's a cool little melody idea. Or I could sit down and kind of dream up an idea. There's no real one way of doing things, and I think that's why I love songwriting.
You love the fact that it is so random like that, and it doesn't come, very, at a certain way.
Yeah. So very unpredictable. I love it.
Well, you're talking about melodies that they come to you. What about lyrically? How does that work for you?
Lyrics. I think straight away you kind of duck the cliches. So you kind of dream up the idea, then think of another perspective, think of another angle, think of a different way to tell the story that's been told 100 times. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest challenge for me in songwriting, is creating new ways of telling stories. But also my most favourite part of songwriting. That's definitely a challenge.
So does whatever book you're reading at the moment influence and affect your songwriting?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, whatever the content you're taking in on a day-to-day basis, whether it's a YouTube video or a book, or the conversations you're having with your friends and family on the daily basis, I think that definitely influences where your head's at and your ability to write about what's happening. For sure. So what book are you reading at the moment? Which is so funny because it's nothing to do with any kind of story. It's The Barefoot Investor. So it's a finance book, which has nothing to do with songwriting so my brain's very focused on finances at the moment. Yep. So I need to start reading some Harry Potter books or something. Get my mind rolling again.
Well, I'm looking forward to your new money song coming out. So
I love it. Cash money.
Well, Jake, lots of things were going on with you last year. Things are going well. You've got this song out at the moment. We're going to hear that shortly. But what else is planned? You said album later in this year. So what other things are going to be taking place for you this year? At the moment, we're focusing on doing some mini tours up and down the coast. Chelsea Berman and I, who you mentioned you chatted to earlier. We're doing some shows together, some ticketed gigs, so that's exciting. Doing some songwriting sessions with a few other artists, which are absolutely going off. People are loving that. Sold out a few of them. They're going to be doing them probably every 2 months throughout the year. And then Savannah in the Round later this year, a huge music festival in Mareeba. So I'm excited for that. Yes, I'm just looking at the lineup, and that is absolutely the who's who and who's who of who. I know, right? Just every name. I'm looking at all the artists that I've chatted to before, and wow, that is a huge lineup. Everybody's there, yeah. So are you going to be handing out business cards with everyone for future songwriting collaborations? Oh, absolutely. Oh, you're going to have a ball. Now, that is Savannah in the Round, and that is the 1st to the 3rd of October. And we'll just give their website a plug, savannahintheround.com.au. I would say if you haven't got your tickets now, you may be struggling, but you better get onto it very quickly because that's going to be huge. That's going to be huge. It's who's who. Now, apart from that, what else? Is there anything else? You mentioned the album. Can you tell us a bit more about the album? And is it going to be any particular time frame? Is it going to be before Savannah or after?
I'm going to say before.
Okay. Yep.
Definitely before. I'm kind of in the process of choosing the songs and crafting the lineup for the album, because I've got about 50 songs to choose from that I've co-written with artists from Nashville and Canada and Australia, and so I'm just kind of working the songs at the moment and figuring out which songs work together, which songs work against each other, and the lineup of the album. So then I'll jump in the studio and work my butt off.
50 tracks. I'm hearing double album, folks. We got a double album from Jake.
A Morgan Wallen double album.
Or you could go triple. One, you've got enough there.
Far out. I'd have my work cut out for me then.
So are we going entertaining the thought? I've got you here on tape. So what's going on? Are we doing triple? Are we doing a triple album?
I'd say we'd stick for 10 to 12 songs this time around, as it is the first album. But yeah, over the next few years, going to be working on some big releases. So we'll see what we can come up with.
All right. Hopefully we'll get that double or triple album coming out at some stage. Well, Jake, as always, it is great chatting to you again. I'm sure we're going to be chatting again later through the year, and especially when the album comes out. I'm looking forward to that and hearing all the music on it.
Wonderful.
We've got your current single here ready to go. And just quickly, is there a video or something happening for it?
Yes, I'm shooting that this week down in Newcastle. So that'll be up online over the next week or two, and then hopefully we'll try to get it on CMT as well. So keep an eye out for the Way She Does music video.
All right, looking forward to that. All right, Jake, thank you so much for spending time with us today on Flow. We've got your song here ready to go for all the Flow listeners. If you could please introduce it for us.
My name's Jake Davey, and this is my brand new single, The Way She Does.
Listens to Coldplay all the time. Got her eyes from her father. Never shows up on time. The life of the party. She can set the mood on fire, and she's never sorry. No doubt she's always right. And I won't argue, 'cause I know I've got no chance. No reason to try to. When she looks at me like that, nobody does it the way she does. And nobody's got that kind of buzz. She'll make you go, whoa. And nobody can shine a little brighter than those neon lights. Can look so good trying to pick a fight. She'll make you go, whoa. And nobody She tried to join the house band, leave me breathless with one touch. Never been one to hold back. Yeah, I can't get enough, 'cause nobody does it the way she does. No, nobody's got that kind of buzz. She'll make you go, whoa. And nobody can shine a little brighter than those neon lights. Can look so good trying to pick a fight. She'll make you go, whoa. And nobody. Hey. Acts so tough, she's kinda crazy, but she's my kinda crazy. I like that. Spent so much time chasing the feeling, but the feeling came along when I found her. Nobody does it the way she does, and nobody's got her kind of buzz. Can make you go. And nobody can shine a little brighter than those neon lights. Can look so good trying to pick a fight. She'll make you go, whoa. And nobody does it like that. And nobody does it like that.